welcome back to the episode of the LDG Podcast.
Yo.
I'm your guest, cucuycharles, and we're joined by our host, LiamDoesGames.
Yo.
Welcome back to the 7th episode.
Hello,
and
chat.
that's the intro.
That perfect intro. We're back. Your mic clipped for a second, actually, when we started.
Damn it. That's the problem, because when I used to get loud on the original podcast, I would record my own audio so it wouldn't clip. And then
feels bad. I mean, it should be okay, though. It should be okay.
People get it.
People will get it, yes. So, welcome everyone. Today, as my guest introduced, we have ourselves cucuycharles, who is the owner of the Unturned Podcast. He's an admin on Unturned Official, and he has his own YouTube channel with around almost 4,000 subscribers now, which is, pretty good, actually. I didn't even know you had that sub count, to be honest. I was really surprised.
There's a lot of things I'm gonna say about YouTube to people because I want to give motivation to some individuals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we'll, there's a lot of topics we should get through, but I know you got some questions. I'm so prepped. I guess I should also say one last thing I should mention is that I've been a part of this community for 10 years, so I've been around for a while.
Yes.
So yes, let's get into the questions then.
Of course. So I do have. Before we start, though, I would like to give a shout out to the sponsor, obviously. Shout out Pine Hosting. Thank you, Pine Hosting, for sponsoring. If you guys want to start your own Unturned, Rust, Project Zomboid, whatever server, they do have a lot of different games. Make sure to check out Pine Hosting. Use code LDG for 30% off. Let's just get straight into it. So, as Cucuy did say at the start, he's been here for 10 years, which I think he's even more than me. I've started playing in 2016, so damn. That's actually incredible. So you do remember, you probably played Dead Zone then, right?
No, 2.0 when it came out on Steam. So when the Steam version launched, it was 9 days after the launch, and I played it then, and I played it for about I think 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. It's really blurry because I was 9 and 10 years old around that time.
Oh damn!
So it's I don't really remember too much. About that early days. I literally just remember building a base on Monolith and killing deer with
Yeah, that was my first experience though. Playing Monolith, killing deer, and just that's it. Didn't even know about zombies at the start.
Yeah, you don't know anything else. I literally was
holy fuck, Liam, I am coming
that. It was just kind of funny. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, and then I started playing. It was just the old PI back then. It was only PI. And I remember a friend of mine introduced it to me from IRL school and all of that. And he had a base on Alton Isle back then. And he built a bridge from Alton Isle to Charlottetown. And that's my earliest memory of Unturned. Me going over that bridge and just screaming with zombies running after me. So, yeah.
I'm trying to remember my earliest memory. My earliest memory was just building that Monolith base. I can't really remember too much after that. Besides all the silly movement back then, because the movement used to be really weird.
And the zombie arms. The zombie arms are just behind them all the time. Was great.
Yes. Yeah. What a different time.
Yeah. To think about. For sure. Alright, so we actually have a question from P9 who's in the stream right now. He asks you about what do you think of the rating update? Let's start off with that.
Oh my lord. Okay, so we're going from 2.0 to P9 nonsense. Actually, I'll be real, now that I play more vanilla. Yeah, actually, I think there should be another rating update in the future. Maybe not specifically about rating, but maybe structures being increased. Because I think I've been playing a lot of vanilla recently, and I think I kind of feel bad for new players who build houses and then get immediately destroyed because it's kind of a little too easy, I think. For a group to dominate if they dedicate too much time. And there's some things also I think that that lead to just complete if you have let's say a 6 to 8 man, it's basically GG's with wraps for the general population.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't really like that. I don't like that whatsoever. I think groups should be able to fight other groups. That's why I like Arid more, because I don't really focus too much on the smaller groups unless I don't have other group to attack.
Exactly.
But on vanilla, it's a lot more easier just to destroy,
it's
houses
easy
and stuff.
It's easy to dominate server, especially Washington PI. Just get lucky from a mega zombie, get a dragon fang, and just refill it with high cat, which is also easy to find, and that's it.
Yeah.
GG.
There's a lot of things that actually I'm very happy about the vanilla changes. I know it's like a different question, but like I'm very happy about the vanilla changes recently. Like I don't think people realize, but like Unturned vanilla right now is like the most playable it's been ever. Like I think it's actually like way better than probably every curated map before Elver was released right now because of the default changes that were made to the basic games on the vanilla side. I mean, when I mean like vanilla is like when you boot the map up and you actually play it. That's what I mean. I mean no other additions. Because you can make a lot of those earlier maps really fun with just some simple tweaks and changes. But right now vanilla is in the vanilla state, like right there, it's really good right now. I think it needs to be better, but it is good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I actually do play a bit Washington here and there nowadays. Back then I wasn't really playing. I was only playing curated. But when you say like changes, like which recent changing are you mean? Like the grip maple strike, for example? What do you think of that?
No. We'll get into that later. I think I think a lot of people don't really think these are big changes. No, I didn't see a lot of people talk about them, but they're some of the most important changes to happen. First of all, skill loss is disabled on default for the normal mode.
Oh yeah,
and I believe on easy as well. So like you remember, Liam, if you died with max skills, you
lose everything.
Like, you lose half of your skills and everything. It was like 1,700. It was like so much XP would be lost. You would take like 30 minutes just to get them. That was the most annoying thing in vanilla, in my opinion. And it led to so little interactions between people because everybody was just so afraid to have to grind back that skills.
Exactly.
And that's why PvP became so lame on vanilla. People didn't like it. It was just like, okay, I'm going to go. I hear a guy shooting over there. It's not worth fighting and potentially wasting 30 minutes of my life when I can just go grind somewhere else and get probably better loot than this one guy. And it leads to less interactions, which leads to less conversating and less like story building of the entire server, which is ultimately why I think, in my opinion, led to a lot of non-story based vanilla stories happening on YouTube. Was because it's just unfun to play. Like, why would you want to dedicate 30 to like an hour like of your time to get XP just for you to lose to like someone that was third camping or something like that? You know, if we're looking at it purely vanilla. So it's like there was a lot of issues in the past, and I think people don't realize that was a huge change. Along with that, the changes to specifically the default having only one character on servers. Like, it's ridiculous to think that there was a time where you can keep like over 100 charges on your alternate characters without any way to like actually get that from people. Like, that was ridiculous. Like, you could just keep like a whole base basically on your alternate characters and have nobody be able to rate it. Basically an unrateable base on your alt characters, and that's ridiculous. And that led to a lot of situations where like new players that they don't know any better and they don't have gold, and they just get completely clobbered because there's a nerd who has all of his loot on alternate characters and he only gets on with that loot when nobody else is on, and then siphons that loot back to his main character. It's so lame. It was such a lame.
I used to get scared to PvP, to be honest. Like, I used to run away from PvP if I was alone. You know, it was just... Nowadays, it's completely the other way around.
Yeah, it's so much more fun. And I think people don't realize that. And I think vanilla actually has made somewhat of a comeback. Because I've been seeing more people play vanilla for a longer period of time. And that's ultimately good.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
For sure.
So I think people like... don't realize how good those changes were, and I don't think they realize how like more fun vanilla is right now. If you guys are listening, like literally try it. Like it really is fun.
I agree. Especially with like a few friends, you know. Like the thing is though, I don't really know if there's any popular vanilla servers nowadays. The only ones I see is like Sanctum vanilla, you know, and most of the times they aren't even on like Washington or PI. They'll have it like on Elver, for example, you know.
Yeah, they will. But I mean, there's a couple. There's like some smaller vanilla servers. I play on like this one that has like the only thing was the structure damage being upped a little bit. Yeah. So I've been like thinking about that a lot and like whether or not it's good changes or not. Because I made suggestions about like, okay, this is another suggestion that's actually really really good for the game. But like the ability to scrap more stuff in the game has been so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that I can go to a construction site, pick up the nails, pick up the spotlights, and scrap them down for metal. for building my base and for whatever, like fixing up tools and stuff like that. And
I agree.
That's been so much more fun, because I feel like everything now has more of a purpose. Instead of just like, oh, I found nails, just taking up more inventory space, or like a new player picks up nails and he keeps them on him, and then if you were to kill him, and you can get those items, and basically now they're usable. Now people won't have random items that are useless on them, and that's more fun too, because I think everything should be somewhat useful like immediately, but that's just like a concept of mine. But that's made it more fun for me personally.
For sure.
Also, this is like, in addition to that, landmines and claymores are scrappable too for raw explosive. Thank God.
Oh,
they're some
yeah,
of the
I
most
remember
useless
this.
items.
There's also something else that you can salvage and throw. I forgot what it was. I think it's demolition charge.
The missile.
Oh, yeah, the missile.
The charge, the grenades.
Yeah, the grenades, Bro, that's such a good update. Like, even when I was just playing, like, Washington someday, and I just see, like, I can salvage a dot site. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even know about the update until, like, I saw it. I was so confused. I thought it was a mod at first, but then apparently, like, I went single player and it was there as well. I was really happy about it, to be honest.
Yeah, the iron sights are scrappable now too.
Yeah, the iron sights.
It's so much more like better than it was in the past, and I'm so happy about those changes. And I think people should start playing vanilla again, because it's actually completely like, on these little things have been very fun.
Yeah.
P9 didn't even know about those.
Yeah,
they're really good. P9, they're really good. You gotta play again, bro.
Yeah, it took me a while to even figure those out, to be honest. Like, even scrapping iron sights is insane, and even like salvaging like the spotlights, generators, and all of that. It's insane.
Oh, and also the smokes are scrappable too. So now you actually need to throw them away. Like, it's actually, and also chemicals can be made from 3 of a kind of a flare. Like,
wait, really?
There's so many changes right now. Yeah.
I didn't even know about that.
5 glue can be turned into a chemical right now. It's so interesting.
Oh,
there's so many things that like people don't really know about.
That's actually insane. I didn't even know about the chemical one. That's sick.
Yeah. There's a lot of crafting changes. Like, some of them I suggested, some of them were Nelson's, and I was like,
okay,
I'm so glad they're in the game. Like, that's why I think when like people say like, oh, Nelson's killing his game with the most recent updates, I don't really think they're playing Unturned. And I'm like, have you guys seen these changes? These are game breaking. Like, if you played Unturned for a long time, you probably like know how drastic these like updates are, and it's really crazy. They're really good.
I agree. I do think that a lot of people do say that it's dying, but the updates are making it better. Even like me personally, a lot of people say it's a bad update, but I absolutely love it. It's the Maple Strike update, the grip update.
Oh yeah,
I like
let's
it.
Get to the
let's get to it. All right.
I think the Maple Strike grip. Personally, I think it was a good change, but I think I always knew it was going to be a good change for one specific reason. Is because the only thing that was changed about it was literally recoil control. Like, that was it. There was no damage changes. There was nothing else. It's literally, are you able to control the recoil better or not? So it's literally just a skill based change, and everybody complained, and people didn't even complain for like good reason, for the most part. And this is what makes me think that like people don't really know what an update really does to a weapon, and they didn't even know what this update did to the Maple Strike, and everybody just complained. And I'm like, so basically either everyone's just saying they're bad at recoil control or something like really dumb, because I'm just like,
honestly, it's still OP, to be honest, in my opinion. It's
still really good.
It's still good. Every time I use it, it's like with or without a grip. Me personally, when I played with it, like most of the time I just get a Maple Strike like early game and all of that. You don't have a grip at the same time, so it's like I still am used to playing without a grip anyway, so it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, like I think for me, like when it comes to guns, it's like you give me a gun, I can make a play with it, right? It's like any weapon could work in almost any scenario. You just gotta be like very smart about it. So like most of the times I don't even have like attachments on my guns, and most of the times I kind of forget what attachments do, because I'm just going out with like, just fresh weapons, or I kill a player with some other gun and then pick up their gun and then not really care. But yeah.
Nah, it didn't matter. To be honest, the only thing that I saw this is that in like, I don't know, like Freezer or whatever, like they just don't have a grip. That's it.
Yeah, I don't even know about that though. I think they brought it back with like a change or something. It was kind of ridiculous.
Oh
I
my
gotta
god.
say though, like if anybody from Freezer is listening, you guys are just killing your server. Like I'm not even lying. Like it's kind of surprising how little people like are playing Freezer because
Yeah,
of
it's
how
not
different
really.
it is from the main game. It's
It's
not
not
the
really
game
that.
anymore.
Yeah. I don't really see Freezer being that popular anymore. Sadly.
Yeah, it's not, and it used to be like a cornerstone of like of jokes and like I guess like the PvP community, but now it's just kind of like I feel like they've kind of like isolated themselves in like a very specific time frame,
Yeah.
and they don't want to like move on to like
Exactly.
the current
Yeah.
situation that we are in, and it's kind of like it's killing them. It's literally killing them because nobody's playing there. Everyone's going on the newer maps or going completely somewhere else, like Rhyme or something, you know.
Yeah,
So it's like
I see a lot of them moving to like a server called Predel now.
yeah. So it's
Everyone's
like
there
you're losing
now.
your market. You had such a lead, and now like everybody's going away, and I don't think they realize that. Sadly.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, so I do make videos for Storm Monarchy. I don't know who you know, who they are. It's like a channel for like guides, basically.
The owner of Restore Monarchy is the owner of Unturned America, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him, and I watched a couple of those videos too.
Okay.
I kind of was confused because like who's these two guys? I'm like, oh wait, that's the guy from Unturned America. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah.
So basically, like I edit videos for him, and I had a video that we compare Cobra versus the Ace, and we planned like, okay, let's go Freezer and say like try to record some clips with the Ace or the Cobra. We tried to find the Freezer server, and like we couldn't find any pop. It was like 2 people only. It was crazy. I was like, damn, Freezer is dead now, sadly.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. What was the conclusion about Ace versus Cobra?
Yeah. So basically, they're like, the Ace is better damage wise. That's mainly it. I would prefer an Ace. I would prefer an Ace, to be honest. Yeah, we did conclude like the Cobra is better, but like in terms of recoil and all of that. But the Ace is, I prefer the Ace, and a lot of people don't know that the Ace is, that high damage. It's like 2-3 headshots and they're dead.
Yeah, it's almost the same as like practically it's like a was it Desert Falcon?
Desert Falcon, yeah.
But not exactly, but it is practically, yeah. The low-cal version of it. I do love the Cobra. I think I'll always pick a Cobra over because I just larger groups of people, like usually people play in like 2s or 3s, and it's just like if they have armor or anything else, I just need more ammunition to kill them. So
yeah.
I can't be reloading midway through a fight.
Nah, the only thing about the Cobra though is like for far range,
I see.
That's it. But we did go into like the stats and everything, and like the fact that the Cobra has the boxes and all of that makes it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I haven't even started with the questions, by the way.
Oh, you're really
no,
not.
I did ask you about how you found Unturned. Okay.
I see.
All right. Next question. So, all right. So I have a question about maps now. So you've been here forever. 10 years. So you've played all Unturned all like curated maps basically. So
yeah, basically.
Which is your least and your most favorite maps that you've ever played?
Favorite.
Yes, the least favorite question.
Least favorite. I'm gonna go with my most favorite first.
Okay.
I think Arid is my most favorite because I think it does Unturned very well, and I think it's a good direction for what Unturned should be in the future. I think Arid is like I don't think people realize how good Arid really realistically is. I played that map probably like for like another like 1,500 hours. Like it's a good portion of my hour count because of how good it is. I played multiple wipes on it. I played on the MX and Kodak when that was still up.
Yeah. I think I've seen you on a server there actually. I think I've seen you on one of those. Like you had like a death machine, I remember. And you ran me over from inside my base.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, we were doing a live stream.
I was doing a stream. And
I went the map or like I think the server glitched and I just broke. I broke into your base somehow. Like I like phased through the walls. It was so weird. I don't even know why that happened.
It was just a bug or something,
Yeah, it was really weird. But yeah, I think Arid is like my most favorite map because it does so many things right.
Yes,
And I
agree.
think it's one of the most fun maps, and also it's like it's not too aggressive on new players to really start out, because like you can make plays with the Zolash against almost every tier that exists on the map, and that's very good because it's like I don't like the fact that like I don't like Elver, for instance, for that reason.
Oh, really?
It's like if you get thick armor, or you get any of the top tier armor, and you're like really low down, like for the like almost all the weapons that you get at the lower levels cannot compete with a guy who's been playing longer, and that makes me kind of annoyed because it's like I want to have some sort of threat that isn't like there's 20 people. I would rather have one threat from one guy, because it should be skill based on the 1v1. Not everybody should, have like 50% armor boost and like a guy can't even kill you with like 20 shots.
I see what you mean.
To the head. So it's like that's how I feel about Arid, and I'm very it makes me more engaged, and it's more fun in my opinion.
What about like the aired guns though? Like for example, like every time I fight someone who has like a GP, for example, like I always get completely blasted. So do you think like the guns are too OP? For example, yeah.
I think it's very hard to say because I mean Ren has changed the guns a little bit, but I think overall I think gun balance on Arid is the best to exist. I think it's really really good. I just think like there's some changes that should be made. I think the DMRs right now are kind of broken. I think they should be somewhat decreased in damage because they just are like gonna win in every interaction.
Okay.
But basically I feel like when it comes to LSR, Zolash, and GP, that's like beautiful. That's like beautiful music when you get into combat. Like it's so
I love those guns.
It's so great. Yeah, especially if you throw in Tracer as well into the mix with the 10% recoil.
Yeah.
Like decrease and everything else. Like there's so many little things you could do on that map. It's very fun to change the outcomes of combat. So yeah, I think it's probably the best PvP wise. With a lot of different things, and its main weapons for combat is very fun. And I think Ren did a lot of good things for them.
Yeah, I agree. Arid is definitely probably like also my favorite. Like it's me personally, my favorite two maps. I always say they're Arid and Escalation, right now at least. It's kind of sad that there isn't really a lot of Arid servers nowadays, though.
I think people got burnt out on them because they're like. There's a lot. I mean, you went from wipe to wipe. I mean, I was doing that. I went like maybe like 6 months doing wipes on servers, and it was kind of
damn.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah. I only lost one base, and that was because I was studying for finals.
Oh damn! So each base lasted the whole. That's insane. I always get traded, man.
Yeah.
I always get my base.
I have bases that always last.
Damn.
Yeah, it's because I have like a decent group with me that help me keep it up from the other groups.
I see. Yeah, mostly I'm like solo.
But I don't build. So. Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't like build like monstrosities. I build like actually effective bases.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't build like a smiley base, basically. Like a smiley base.
I think he makes like some weird hex bases. I don't even know.
Those
bases are kind of annoying, but they're not really effective because you have to go through ladders and shit. It's not really that good.
I see. Yeah, I played with him one wipe. Like he invited me a while ago to. It was actually like a year ago to play with him. I was like so lost in the base. It was a pretty good base though. It was insanely geared.
Maze bases are decent, but it's not really effective for like being effective for a player to like get around. So
okay, yeah. All right. So what about your least favorite map now? Do you have one?
I think yes, actually I do now.
Okay.
I was like kind of thinking about it, and I was like, I think realistically there is only one map that deserves to be here, and I think there's nobody that's gonna disagree with me, but that's Belgium.
Yeah. I forget. Yeah, I keep forgetting about it. So.
Yeah, like it's the most forgettable map, and I think like if you go on it right now, you can see through the ground. Like you can see through the ground. Like there's little like it's really bad. It was left in such an awful state, and
that
I don't
sucks.
know why.
It kind of had potential,
Yeah, the acid gun was interesting. That was like the only thing I can really remember, and that was because my like friends brought it up to me as like a thing. I'm like, oh, that was that thing. It's like the spitter, like a zombie spitter.
Yeah, I agree. I forget about that map. Like I forget it even existed. Sometimes I wonder if it even was curated or not. Sometimes I think it's like a workshop map, you know.
Oh, and also the tank. The tank was really buggy. Like on day one, I made a way to like fly with the tank because it didn't really put like blockers in the middle area where you can get in.
I see.
Yeah, I remember that was ridiculous. Yeah,
that's goofy.
Yeah, what an interesting map.
What about like, okay, so a lot of people, like most of the time I've asked people like what their least favorite map is, and I've had like 2 people say that they really don't like Buwak. What do you think of? I love Buwak. I think it's such a good map. What do you think of Buwak?
I like Buwak, and I think a lot of people who probably think Buwak is the worst curated map is kind of naive, or they just haven't been around for a while. Because like there's so many other maps that could be in that position.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair to say that about Buwak. Buwak did a lot of good things.
I love Buwak.
Did a lot of
it's the thing is Buwak is like different than all. Like there's a community in the Unturned scene, like the single player community, you know, that they just want to play like single player, but it's a bit hard, you know, because if you play Washington alone, yeah, you probably after a few hours you'll get used to it. But Buwak, it's it's not easy. For example, it took me like so long to just get a horde beacon ready in Buwak. So for those people, I feel like it's a perfect map. And for people to say that it's a bad map, I just completely disagree with them. So
yeah, I agree. Also, I think the statement of like Buwak being too grindy is a little wild because people like Arid, and I like Arid because it is grindy. I think people don't really care about that. I think when it came to Buwak was I think the biggest upset for people is just like it was a little too different for people, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was inherently a bad thing. Along with it was kind of hard to like find out where weapon spawns were for people.
Yeah.
Which kind of made people really upset at the beginning because they were like, where do I even get a weapon? Where are the gun locations?
Yeah,
the dead zone. They didn't realize that all the guns are in the dead zone or like in the radio towers or
exactly.
The farms for shotguns and crossbows and stuff. I mean, it was very the map was very good in a lot of different ways, and it made me really interested. I think bow combat and shotgun combat was like that's like the prim like kind of combat, but it is very fun. And I really did enjoy it. I did play a vanilla Buwak server, and I remember having a Avenger.
Okay.
And killing a guy in titanium with a Night Raider, with an Avenger, an Avenger. He was so awful, but I killed him, and I brought it all back. And I remember I was playing with Night Raider, and I was like, he was like freaking out, and also China was freaking out, like, what the hell? Like, yeah.
Getting that loot that early is, insane, to be honest. So
yeah, it was crazy. But I think Buwak is really good. I think people give it a hard time because it's a little too different for them.
Yeah.
Along with that, it's more of a survival map. It's a survival map, and on top of that, it's like a single player survival map. So
exactly.
It's a lot of fun, and I think it's good to have. And I don't think people should really. I think people are a little too harsh on the map. And I think people need to give it a fair shake as opposed to everything else
100%
came up before, because it's definitely very good.
Yeah, I agree. One of my favorite like Buwak experiences was I used to stream on a PvE Buwak server, and it was like a hardcore PvE server, So it was actually like very challenging, but it was so much fun. We built like a large monstrosity of a base. I remember it was so much fun. Like the people that were there, they used to literally grind when I'm not even streaming. So for that to happen is insane. Like most of the time they just leave when I stop the stream, but for them to remain after the stream and just grind is insane, So
yeah, I think actually that's very interesting because I think I experienced that for like most part. I felt like grinding on that map after like everyone was gone because it was like. I mean, it was also like it was the map was very nice, so I was enjoying most of my time. And usually, like since a lot of the sweats weren't really playing, it would just be like nice and relaxed. So
yeah, for sure.
It was really fun as opposed to like Arid where it's more intense. Where I'm in like either AG not AG. I'd be in the dead zone now. Yeah, and I'm like hearing like footsteps outside because of the ambience. The ambience has footsteps in it, so I hear footsteps sometimes, and I'm like freak out. But
yeah, it was terrifying to be honest, bro. And the quest line for Buwak was so nice. The first time I did it, I was freaking out. First time I went in the basement, and then it just like turns into that bridge. I was like, "Yo, what's going on, man?" It was so cool.
that's the best part of that map. I think it's like really top tier. I think it's a standard, like for like good, kind of storytelling. Because I really dislike, this is me. I hate reading like on text on screens.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
me too. I get distracted
really
so easily. It's
Yeah, I really do appreciate Toothy for making all the things that she did. It was really amazing.
It is.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. All right. So, okay. So let's get over to the next question. So, okay. So I have a question about the podcast. Okay, the Unturned Podcast.
Sure.
So if you guys didn't know, cucuycharles hosted probably the largest Unturned podcast that there is. He did I think over like 60 podcasts, right? Was it like 60 podcasts?
Yeah, 65.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like 65 podcasts.
I was one of them. I was so happy when you invited me for that one. I used to listen to all of them, I remember. So you've done a lot of guests, including like Nelson, basically every Unturned YouTuber. So the question is, who is your favorite guest that you've ever had on your, like, what was your most favorite podcast that you've ever done?
I think that's an easy question. I think it was Nilex. Nilex called his mom on the podcast episode.
Yo.
I don't think people realize, like, if you go back to the Nilex episode, if you guys have
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Go listen to Nilex's episode, because he literally called his mom, and like it was really funny. I'm not gonna spoil exactly what was said, but there was a lot of funny moments in that podcast. I think it was the Nilex episode. Yeah, I think it was for me, because it was just fun. But I think I don't know. I liked all my guests because I think all of them had interesting things to say about Unturned, and I had always like questions for everybody because I think it was interesting to pick people's minds about stuff.
Yeah.
Relating to this game, because it's always interesting. Because I mean, I'm only one guy, and I want to know more about what people think about stuff. So I always ask questions and such. So I was, no matter what, I think all the guests were really good people. And I'm really happy I got everybody on for the most part before I ended it. It's not like completely ended. I will bring it back probably.
Okay.
In 2026. That's what I'm planning to do.
All right.
But now, I didn't want to do it for like 2 years because not only am I playing Unturned again, but I'm like doing other things as well in the behind the scenes and stuff. So I'm very I'm gonna get back into it eventually when I'm
for sure. That's great, man. That's great. There's some new people that you can invite. You know, like I've noticed, like for example, like I've had some podcasts where they weren't on your podcast. I think that would be interesting that, you know, and like when you bring it back, you know, you get them on yours as well. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I hope to like do a lot of different things when I go back, because there was a lot of little hiccups behind the scenes that people didn't really see that I don't really want to repeat next time around. So we probably will bring a lot of different people on. It's gonna be dependent on whether or not they fill a criteria or not, like a criteria that I have. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting when I bring it back. People will probably not expect a couple things, but we'll see.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. That's really good. I was so upset when you like posted the last one that, you know, you're gonna take a break and all of that.
I don't know if you that last video was gonna be like an hour long.
Yeah, I remember watching it. It was like 20 minutes though, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes. Yeah. It was gonna be an hour long, but then I realized like what am I even doing? Like I was like going a little bit extreme in that one. I deleted that one. And I just went and not like too crazy, but like it was like me calling specific behavior out. And then I was like, you know what? There's no point. I'll just say like I'll just say this. Which works because it's the same thing I was saying.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I would have loved to see that though. I would have loved to hear that. Because
probably it would have been interesting. I think a lot of people would be upset because I think they're gonna be directly called out because they know who they are when it comes to their content and what they're saying.
I see. Okay.
But like it doesn't really matter. My point still stands, and then I proved it after the fact. I had like 300 subs, and then I gained almost 4K in like a couple months. So
I may have an idea what you're saying, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like we'll get into that later.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know. Not sure though, but I don't want to say anything crazy, you know. All right. So another question I have for you is, so you're an admin on Unturned Official. So what's that like? So how is that like?
It's okay for me. I think moderating has always been fun. I've been moderating things for like years. So I used to like, people don't know this, but I used to like admin for a PvP server for like years. And I would deal with a bunch of like ridiculous things all the time there, and it was just funny to me. And then I would do like moderating for like other smaller things in the future. So I've always like somewhat been in like position where I had to moderate something. So after like kind of like a bunch of individuals did leave the unofficial staff team, I just said like, I just said like, all right, let me throw my hat in the ring, because I did do it 2 other times beforehand. So this is the 3rd time, and I got in, and I was like, okay. And a couple months later, I was like promoted to admin because I also applied for that. And so now I'm an admin, nice. And I ban like a bunch of dumb individuals, and also like it's not really too awful. Like there is a lot of awful things, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like not entirely bad. A lot of things are automated, thankfully. So it's very trivial to go through stuff and just remove people, or correct behavior, or do all that. It's I've enjoyed it. It's been a decent experience. So
for sure,
I'm not really too upset about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do sometimes like peek around here a bit in that Discord, and I do think it's like back in the day, like around like I don't know 2-3 years ago, it was like I felt like it was a bit of a toxic place, but nowadays it doesn't really feel like that anymore, So I'm really happy that it's not really like that anymore,
Yeah, there's a lot of individuals who are promoting toxicity in the Unturned Official back in the day, and I'm glad that they're no longer around. And it's been overall just a better experience than what it was in the past, because we don't tolerate that anymore, really, for the most part. So yeah, I mean, also like general discussion. There are some bad actors. Like one time when the Naval Strike change happened, and I was asking this one guy, like, I think his name, I remember his name is like Paranoid or something. He was
I think I know him.
In West
yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Basically he was upset about the Naval Strike change, and I asked him like, what are you upset about? What do you change? And he just kept like, he called me stupid and dumb, and like a bunch of, he just started name calling basically. I'm like, all right. And then the other staff members, because I wanted him to keep going, but the other staff members banned him, and I was like, come on, I was trying to get him to say something actually intelligent, but he couldn't. But yeah, there's some like that. But like overall, it's been very fun, and I've enjoyed my experience, and I don't think I'm gonna step down from the admin position for a very long time.
That's good. That's great. Yeah, I was so happy when I saw you as an admin. To be honest, I'm like, yes, it's saved.
Yeah. Nah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Of course.
I hope to be a person that is like that people can like be like, okay, this guy is gonna do a good job here. So thank you. I do appreciate.
Of course, I'm 100% sure that you're doing a good job, man. So don't worry about that. All right. So next question I have. Okay, so you've participated in probably all of the playtests of most curated maps, right? Or at least a few of them.
Yes. Yeah, I would say after Elver and after, yes, every map was.
Yeah, exactly. My first playtest was Kuwait. So after Kuwait, afterwards I played in all of the playtests. So okay, good. So which is your favorite playtest that you've ever participated in till now?
My favorite playtest. This is a hard one because
I have one, for example. My favorite one was probably Kuwait, to be honest. I loved Kuwait.
I think it's surprising because I think I'm trying to remember like a really good one. I could strike down a couple immediately off the top of my head. Man, it's hard because I didn't like. Surprisingly, the Arid playtest wasn't really that good. The newer playtests really were good. Elver was kind of fun, but it wasn't too well. I think it really was Kuwait, and I think I think it really was Kuwait, surprisingly. Like, I don't really like Kuwait as a map, but there's so many good memories between the community, because that was such like a peaceful time.
It was, yeah.
So
I remember just fishing. Everyone was fishing in the safe zone in that one.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I did like a Kuwait SMP, and I invited you and a bunch of other community members. I think that was literally the best SMP to exist in the entirety of like all the SMPs, which is surprising because it's like it really wasn't like a PvP server. It literally was an SMP, and that made it so much more enjoyable.
There weren't like sweats in it or whatever, you know? It was like just everyone's chill, everyone wants to build their base, everyone wants to do the quests, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And sadly, like a lot of them were NA, so I remember Liam was all by himself.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, I felt kind of bad. I know Silver was there. Silver was with you.
Yeah, Silver. And back then I had somebody else playing with me, but you know, she's no longer around. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun back then.
Oh, dude, I was even gonna. It was very interesting, and I think Kuwait was such an interesting time, and I think a lot of our histories. So I think I'll give it to Kuwait. I think it was a good time during the playtest, and then after when it released, when we're playing on the SMP and stuff. I think that was very fun.
Yes.
I will say Man's event, I knew it was gonna be bad. I predicted it, and then I made it my SMP.
I remember, bro, the Man event though. I actually had a good time in it. Because I was like, when Man needed help, he would always invite me to help him in like raids. So for me, it was like so much content, you know. So I remember raiding Retu with him. It was insane. It was good. But yeah, then the SMP was like chill, you know. It was like the complete opposite.
Yeah, it was just like relaxing and playing the map fully. But yeah. I will say about the playtest, it was funny that me and Renaxon went over and we were just like, when PvE was enabled, because people were complaining. For like a day. Me and Renaxon went over to Mano's base and we just like started we took Taco's truck and we just blew it up.
Oh my god!
Because he was so upset at I think somebody else on the server, and we just like kept messing with him secretly, and he didn't even know it.
Poor guy.
And it was so funny. Yeah. No, he deserved it. He was saying crazy stuff.
Taco was the guy with Manoman's team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that guy. I remember that guy. At first, he was like, he did not like me at all. I don't know why. And then, like, as soon as I joined Manoman's team, he was like super friendly to me. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah, the switch up is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so that was the playtest. Did you play in the escalation playtest? I don't remember. I remember I raided Doug.
I played for a little bit, but I got busy with finals, so I couldn't really like commit time to it. I played a little bit, and I was like, okay, I just need to focus on my schooling. So
of course. School is important, man. A lot of people tell me, like, for example, like I'm streaming and someone says, "Yo, I skipped school because I don't feel like it." I'm like, bad. You should focus on school.
You gotta like focus on school. Like I think I'm gonna tell you this, everybody. Like I know it. As long as you do the work, you'll get through. But you gotta do it. You gotta show up and do the work, and you'll succeed. Always do that for almost anything. It's like repetition, and that's what's most important about stuff. So yeah. Don't be skipping school for LDG streams. Just go focus on school.
Bro, just watch it later, you know? Like
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Today I had a guy that like said he didn't go to school because he wants to play Unturned. He's new to Unturned, and this morning he's like, first comment, he's like, I didn't just go to school because I want to play Unturned. I'm like, what?
He's got the bug. But yeah, don't skip school. Enjoy school. School is like a very interesting time for everybody. Go enjoy it. Don't skip it.
I honestly miss middle school and high school nowadays. College was ass, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, middle school and high school, I had some crazy times with my friends.
Yeah, I miss that too. Yeah. I miss all those little things that we all used to do and like all used to say to each other because we knew each other for such a long time. And like now that's gone. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
That was such a fun time. That's why you guys can't skip on it. Go enjoy your schooling lives because once it's done, you're not gonna be able to go back. You can't go back.
Exactly.
Unless you go to college. But that realistically is not the same.
It's not the same at all. Yeah.
Other times to be dumb and to be stupid. So
exactly.
Go enjoy them.
Don't skip school for no reason. If you're sick, don't go. But yeah. All right. So I have another question.
Crash.
Wait. What? Hello. No, I'm here. Oh shit. Hello? Hello.
I think your internet crashed for like a second.
Oh. Yeah, for some reason the stream stopped. All right, we're back. Hello. Slight crash, slight technical issues. We're back. Shout out Malta Internet, by the way. I should get it fixed this Thursday because they couldn't do it earlier. Just crazy. All right, so yeah, I have another question for you. So this one goes a bit away from Unturned, but basically, like, what is your favorite game apart from Unturned?
That's a very hard question. I was like thinking about this, and I was like, "Jeez."
Yeah, I always ask this to everyone. I gotta know, man. You know.
I'm gonna name off the games I play. So just so like everybody knows, I play Clash of Clans. I play Brawl Stars. I play Civ 6, and War Selection for like the most of the time. Like most of there's like 5 games I usually play, so I play like those.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I think I like Civ 6. Like I love the strategy of Civ 6. Like I'm not inherently like really good at it, but like it's very fun and I like that. For Clash of Clans, I'm in Town Hall. I'm Town Hall 16. I'm almost maxed. I was gonna go to Town Hall 17 next and then get that. Yeah, I'm Town Hall 16. I'm just trying to get walls up to level 16 before I go there.
Yeah, I've only played Clash of Clans for like an hour. It's a good game. It's just I don't know. I kind of got a bit bored, to be honest, at the start. I don't know if probably it'll get better in the future. You know, like it'll get more fun for me.
Yeah, it's a very like what do you call it? It's just like you gotta wait. A lot of like slow burn stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, trophies in Brawl Stars. I think I have like 40,000. I might be wrong. It's like 33 to like 40,000. I forget exactly. I've been playing like since like launch. Since launch of Brawl Stars when it came out.
Damn, so you're OG in that game, like, so eh?
Yeah. I play OG games. Actually, I started playing Clash of Clans similarly when I was playing like the account I'm on. Like this account's like from 2014. So like Clash of Clans and Unturned, I've been playing like around like I started at the same time, but I have not been playing as much as both of them. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I have a question in chat from Grimsy. So Grimsy has some strong opinions about Carpet. Okay, I'm not gonna tell them what I'm not gonna tell you what they are, but what is your opinion on Carpet?
I believe Grimsy said last stream, if I'm not correct, if I'm mistaken, correct me.
Okay.
But was reworking Carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe they were. Yes, I believe they were reworking.
He
Carpet.
loves
Carpet.
I
don't think it's a bad thing.
No, he's gonna make it.
I love Carpet. I think. No, I honestly think Carpet actually solos like almost a bunch of the curated maps, and I don't think people realize why. People play Carpet and they don't realize why it's good. Like it's like and I think a lot of people don't realize that like Carpet puts you in a situation where I feel like no other map has ever put you in, and it's like actually really considering what you really think you really need for something. So like the amount of space that you have on Carpet is really like an interesting like system. I think people don't really give it too much, but like there's so many like choices here. And actually, I don't know if you've ever played or like seen gameplay of like what do you call it? This War of Mine. It's similar to that, where it's like you have to make decisions of what you want to give up that's really good, as opposed to like what you want to keep that's really good. And I think Carpet does that so well, and I think people haven't replicated it because it was received so negatively by people. But I think people need to realize that like that's an experience that nobody else has done, and I think people should be able to go and look into doing that again, because I think that was a very fun experience. So.
For sure. Okay. I'm not really. I haven't really played Carpet in a while, so I don't really know, to be honest with you, like how it is. But from the little that I did, I didn't really like it that much. But yeah, I mean, if he's gonna remake it and it's gonna be better, I think that's gonna be huge, to be honest.
I think if anyone that likes Carpet, they're gonna do a good job remaking it, because I think they like Carpet for a specific reason. And I really have high hopes for Grimsy. I think a lot of people who rework Carpet usually understand what Carpet was trying to do. There was a lot of bad things. I'm not gonna lie. There was like the idea is really good, but the execution idea is pretty bad, and that's what's the problem with it. But yeah, the ideas is still very good. Yeah. So I have high hopes. I have high hopes for rework of Carpet. yeah.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. If Grimsy's still here, I don't know. Yo, you better make a good map, man. All right, so
I have high hopes for you.
Yeah. I think he's gonna. He sometimes streams like when he's map making and all of that. So yeah, he seems like he knows what he's doing. I don't know anything about map making, to be honest.
Oh, neither do I. That's the one thing I haven't touched in this game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've tried like a bit. The only thing I managed to make is like the mountain thing, you know, the I don't even know what it's called. Like the black thing at the bottom. I don't know what it's called. All right. Yeah, it's like the volume.
It's hard.
Yeah,
the volume.
I don't know.
We have no idea. I feel like there's gonna be some map maker laughing right now. They're like, these guys don't know anything. I'm like, yeah,
I don't know anything.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't mind saying I don't know. I don't know. All right. Anyway, next. This is the final question I have for you, and then we'll go to viewer questions. So basically, you have done a long time. You have spent a long time doing glitching in Unturned. Yeah. So how did you get into glitching, to be honest? Like, what was the thing that made you want to find new glitches? You got the debugger's beret, right?
Yeah.
So how was that for you to get the debugger's beret, and like what made you want to find new glitches and all of that?
Yeah, actually in my 10-year video, it was like a huge explanation, but there was this one guy. Actually, let's start in the beginning.
Okay.
I used to play this game called Lego Battles, and I actually did I actually did a glitch in Lego Battles with a character. It's called like Space Criminal Leader.
Okay.
And he glitched by taking control of a player, like a character, instead of a vehicle, and like basically it was just a glitch. Like it was a bug. It wasn't supposed to be like that, and that's my personal direction to glitches, right? I started playing Unturned like a couple years later, and this Romanian guy, I call him like Divine Romanian because I don't remember who he was, and after that day he never showed up online again. We played for 2 days, and the last day that we played, in the last like 5 minutes that we played, he's like, come over here, and he showed me a glitch to how to get under the map, and then that's how I was introduced to Unturned glitching, and he told me like, have a good day and a good life, my friend, and he left, and
the Godfather.
I never saw him again. Yeah, he literally was. It was a Romanian, like a Divine Romanian. Like I'm not even lying. Like I call him Divine Romanian because he literally was. He literally was there just to do that.
That was his purpose.
Yeah, like it's crazy. That's why like that's what made me believe somewhat in like it's so weird. Like maybe there is a destiny or something, because that guy never showed up again. And I went down this entire path that I am now. If it wasn't for that guy, I would have went somewhere completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I was that guy would send off a chain of reactions that would lead me to this moment on this podcast right here. So yeah, that guy is crazy. And
shout out to that guy, man.
Yeah, shout out to that guy wherever you are. I hope he's still around. I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's alive and well.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we pray.
Yeah,
I relate to the thing, like if you didn't do that one thing, you're not here, you know? Like if I didn't for some reason think Unturned was free to play Minecraft, I would not be here, you know, as well.
Yeah, it's like small things that keep you around for like have a huge chain reaction that you remember, and you're like, if it wasn't for that one thing, I wouldn't be here at all.
Exactly, yeah. Like that one keyboard press, you know, or one mouse click, you know.
Yeah, it's just
crazy.
One thing could change everything for you.
Yeah,
and it's crazy how life works. And
it is. Okay. I remember you mentioned this in the podcast I was on, like how we met our first time as well. Like you were on my server.
Oh yeah.
And you were glitching or something. Yeah.
Yes. For people who don't know, I don't know who Liam was. Liam had like, I don't even remember, like 700, like 900 subs. Like,
yeah, I was very small, you know.
And Liam was like, I remember this stuff like after the fact. I'm like, dude, this guy is crazy. Because what Liam was, he was streaming almost every day on Twitch, and I was like, dude, this is insane. And he would play Arena. Like he would play arena almost every day. So every day, Liam was on there like, all right, when I get these kills, when I get these wins,
Yes.
and he would be there every day playing arena, and that was such a interesting like set of like events. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So I was glitching on LiamDoesGames' server under a rock. Because, dude, that server was not moderated. Nobody was taking care of it.
No.
There was so many other glitchers. So I was like, all right, this is my challenge. So I took advantage of it, and I made sure that nobody else could raid my base. And the only person who could was Liam.
Exactly.
Admin moved on my entire base
Yeah.
and destroyed it. But yeah, that was my first introduction to Liam was him being an admin on the server and him killing my glitch base. Yeah, that was very funny.
I remember I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, why is there a base here? I wasn't even like that aware of glitch basing back then. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were so confused because I think there was these like players who snitched on me. And they were like telling you, there's a glitch base down there. And I remember you in the stream being like, there's nothing here.
I couldn't find it.
Like, that's right.
I was like, oh, it's under the map.
Yeah, it's like in the rock, yeah. So
I remember
that was very fun.
It was so funny as well. And I was like, wait, who's this Charles guy, you know?
Yeah. And it's so funny because we have our messages from 2019 where that all happened. So it's all there. Like everything is there in our DMs. And then now we're here. Yeah. Small world.
Yeah, then I remember like I messaged you one time, and then like after that like interaction, like we didn't talk for a pretty long time. And then I remember I messaged you because I was banned from Unturned. And for some reason, I thought you were like falsely banned as well. I don't know why. So I messaged you. I was like, "How do you get unbanned?" And you were like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "I was banned from Unturned." And then I think you were the one that told me how to like, you know, appeal and all of that. So
yeah, because I think P9 was also banned. I think
yeah, 2 our games were banned on that day as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so many people were banned, and I was like, okay, everybody just go message either, what was it?
Yeah, I just messaged. Yeah, I messaged Nelson. Thankfully, by then I had already like did an interview with Nelson about Unturned 2. So it's like my DMs were already unlocked with him. So it's like I just messaged him, and he was so helpful as well. It was insanely how helpful he was. Like the day after.
Nelson said.
Yeah, we love Nelson. The day after I was unbanned, I remember. And then like 2 hours later I was banned again. So I was like, yeah, it was crazy.
They were hating. They didn't want to see you succeed.
Yeah, I was panicking, man, because like at that time I feel like I was at probably one of the best times for my channel that was growing. I was like averaging like 10k views per video. It was pretty good. It's not even right now it's that good. So for me to get banned from Unturned and think like everything's over, I was like panicking, you know. But then like a day after my second ban, I was unbanned again. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, that would be scary for me. Luckily that didn't happen to me, but
yeah, I always think. Yeah, I always thought like we had like I don't know like a program that only us had that I thought it was like you know a hack or something. I was thinking it was like Photoshop or Sony Vegas or something, you know.
I think it was a driver issue. I think because I asked somebody and it was like, oh, it was a driver issue with certain computers. And yeah, that's what caused a bunch of people being banned. Because I think some other people who like didn't play it too much got a similar ban. So
okay, I see. All right. It was weird, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were thinking like I was hacking or something. Obviously, you know, I wasn't. Thankfully, I was streaming when I got banned, so I had like solid proof that I was not hacking or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
and plus I don't even think you would have been like even if you didn't have the proof, I think you would have been unbanned because I think it was just
it was
a false flag.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go over to viewer questions, chat. Hello, chat. Start asking your viewer questions. Dash. So Dash, he asked this for everyone. I think you've seen a few of my podcasts, so you know what's coming. What is your favorite alcohol? If you drink alcohol.
I'm 20. I don't drink. I'm never drinking, and I'm not gonna drink probably in the future because
good.
I've seen it ruin people. So I'm not alcoholic. And I encourage other individuals. You know, it's good to drink in moderation. Don't overdo it. And you know, if you have like really poor self-control, I wouldn't start. it's not a path that anybody should really go down if you abuse alcohol. So
exactly, I agree.
Stay safe and be careful. Be careful, everyone. That's what everyone needs to know.
Good answer. Yeah, Dash asks this for everyone. I don't know. He's like, he likes this question for some reason. Yeah, even
no,
me,
fine.
like,
it's a fine question.
Yeah. I get like after like one drink, I just die, so I don't drink anymore. Even like it's too much. All right, so the next question we have is from Oli. He asks you, how many hours do you have on Unturned?
I have over 10K. I can get you the exact number right now. Hold on, you have it.
I mean, you have been playing it for a while, so it makes sense. If you've been playing it.
10,382.
Okay, so if you've been playing it for 10 years, that's like average like 1K hours a year, which isn't.
Yeah.
It's not too like. It is normal. I averaged mine. It's also like 1K hours a year. I have 8,000 hours ish, and I have 8 years, and it's like 8,000 hours per year. So yeah. Ollie has 19 hours. He's new to Unturned.
You have 19 hours, Ollie.
19.
I envy some of your new experiences, because there's certain things you have to learn that are like what. Surprisingly, Unturned has a lot of depth when it comes to certain things, and once you start learning stuff, you're gonna be like, that's cool. That's what keeps people around for so long. Like, if you ever look at at everything, like everybody who talks about Unturned and like who asks stuff about Unturned, it's actually really surprising how many hours people have, because you think like AAA games, when people when they look at a AAA game and they ask you they ask the game developers like, how long do you think this game's gonna last for, like when it comes to a playthrough or like playing this game, and they say 60 to like 120 hours. I'm like, dude, that's like nothing. That's like 3 times less than a normal Unturned player who talks about this game has. And I'm like, that's a perspective that I think a lot of people really dismiss, because it's like usually AAA games are like, for like a one-time session or not, like 60 to 120 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, that is and when you look at the hour counts that we all have, like, that's ridiculous. AAA companies wish they got these hour counts for their games, like, and like casually. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I went on a tangent there, but like, enjoy your time playing Unturned, Ollie. Like, you're gonna learn a lot of things, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy your stay. There's a lot of cool things, a lot of cool people in the scene, so.
Yeah, for sure, man. I remember like my first hours, like my first raids ever that I've ever done. They were like so much fun, and they weren't anything crazy, like wasn't any insane like 20 by 20 base, but they were so much fun. Like nowadays they're just another raid, but back then they were insane, so much fun.
Yeah, a different time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we have another question from Dash. He asks you if you collect skins and if you are a trader. I saw your inventory today, and I was like, damn,
Actually, I don't trade much. I don't trade at all, actually. What I actually just do is I put buy orders in for a bunch of like cosmetics. Like my entire cosmetics set, I have like 3 different sets. Okay. I have glitched, freezing, energized, electric, wealthy, cosmic sets of my character.
Okay.
And I'm planning to get more sets in the future. But right now I just have those. I usually just put buy orders in for whatever mythicals I want, and like months will pass and then they'll appear in my inventory or something because somebody sold them.
Okay. I see.
I don't really, but I collect skins that are around like my character realistically. But yeah, I mean, I don't really trade too much. I know a lot of individuals have told me they wanted me to like be part of the trading scene, but I just never really got into it because I think it's like, a little too time consuming for me. But it's fine.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I know people that spend like all day like looking for skins that they want to trade, or sending trade offers, and I get like so many trade offers a day. It's crazy. Do you get like 1 billion trade offers?
Yeah, you'll get like a bunch.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of comments. Like half my comment section. No, I think like 90% of my comments on Steam are like trade please, trade.
Yeah.
Please. So yeah, you get a lot. Of
I get those too. Sadly, I don't mind trading. Like I don't send trades. I just check out the trades people send, and if I think it's okay, or if I profit, or if I, if it's the same, I'll accept it. If not, I'm looking at my trades right now. I got like 3 trades from the beginning of this podcast. So if yeah, if you guys are watching the video on YouTube and you hear the Steam trade, that was not yours, okay? That was mine in the background. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's funny, to be honest, as well. Like sometimes people send me like a trade where they give me like 1 or 2 rare skins and they want like 2 mythicals from mine. So,
yeah, it's so funny.
It's like, yes, I know they don't have mythicals and they want a mythical, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't get mine for, free or whatever. I traded them or like I bought them or whatever,
Yeah. I will say that I remember this one moment, and it's kind of like the pinnacle of all the trades and all of Unturned history because of how ridiculous it was. Someone went to Pyrocynical and asked him for one of his CS knives for the Unturned Rainbow Butterfly knife. They tried to trade that.
Oh my god.
And Pyrocynical made fun of him on a video and said, "Stop giving me the Unturned Rainbow Butterfly knife. It has no value. It's zero purpose." Yeah, so that was the pinnacle of Unturned traders, and I think that was a funny moment. And like this has gone to like, I bet you there's a bunch of like people that don't even know about Unturned, and they see like somebody trade them an Unturned skin or something and be like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
I don't think people realize that there was a Steam glitch that happened like I think in 2017, not 2017, it was like 2019 or 2021.
Okay.
And basically it was a achievement glitch where the achievements went down to their actual numbers. So somebody made a random game, got the achievement, and then found the exact number of how many people played every single game that existed, right?
Damn.
That's what happened. So this was a report that was made. And apparently Unturned was the 4th biggest game owned in all the libraries on Steam. And it was basically based off the achievement Welcome to PI, I think it was. So it could be even larger. So the game, I think the game list was CSGO, Team Fortress 2, Dota, Unturned. I think that's what the report was. Like, if you don't understand, like, and it was like 44 million. So if you don't know, like, I think people don't realize like how big Unturned really is. Like, there's a lot of people who know this game, and it probably is more than we actually really think. I'm not sure if that report was fully sound when it came to like its discovery and everything, but I believe it. I believe Unturned's a really large game because I mean, you look at a bunch of people's inventories, they might have inventory with like apparently like some Unturned skins. I mean, most recently the biggest example, I'm just gonna say this because it's kind of ridiculous, but like the what happened in New York with the health CEO guy.
I've heard about this.
The guy who did the hit, he had an Unturned inventory. Like he had inventory with skins in it.
Wait, he played Unturned?
Yeah. He had some items, very common items, but still, like I think a lot of people have played Unturned, and there's a lot of people who that have stuff. That's why I don't think like certain skins are gonna ever disappear in addition to more expensive. But it was kind of
that's actually insane. I asked, like, for example, like I met a community of Maltese streamers a few weeks ago, and I asked them like, have you ever played Unturned? I'm like, yeah, I played when I was younger. Like, a lot of people like say they've played Unturned like back in the day, and then they just stopped playing it, So I do think like Malta, it's Malta, it's so small. The fact that literally almost every single one of them said, yeah, they did at some point, it's crazy,
Yeah, I remember there would be like certain people that like if they streamed their screen or streamed their Steam library, they would have Unturned there. Like a big example was Tommy in it back in the day. Like he had Unturned. I think even there's some other people like that play Unturned that's very like they keep it on the down low. People like Unturned's like, I think Unturned isn't it's like sadly it's like been like an underground thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not mainstream. Unturned isn't a mainstream thing, and people like play Unturned, but like they don't do anything else with Unturned. Like they don't make content around it,
Yeah.
They just like kind of keep on the down low, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of like a weird place because we're like the most popular underground game that nobody talks about. Like, and that's kind of a weird position to be.
I agree. I do think like they just play it for like an hour or two here and there, for fun, rather than just making content about it, So I wish they do, man. I remember like when I forgot his name. A Rust YouTuber made a Rust Turned video. I forgot his name though.
His name was Mimeo. I know exactly who it was.
Yeah,
Mimeo, he made a 2 million. It's like his 4th most popular video on his YouTube channel.
Damn.
It was like Rust.
That's
and
insane.
Yeah, it was interesting. Sadly, he played like a really bad Rust Turned version.
Oh yeah,
I
he
mean,
played the worst one. Yeah.
Yeah, he played like the worst one, I think. But I mean, like, yeah, it was still interesting. I think people found it interesting because it was like, oh, it's Unturned.
Yeah.
And then people who didn't know are like, oh, this is
cool.
This is like Rust.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
I think a lot of people. Actually, what's funny about Rust, when I started playing Rust, because I didn't play Rust until like I had like 8,000 or 9,000 hours in the turn, right? So I went over the Rust and started playing it, and I got into a large group, and like all those guys like gave me like all my props and like respected me. They were like, "You did all this for Unturned? Like, damn, that's crazy." I didn't tell them; they just found it on their own because I was just wanting to play Rust and like learn it.
Yeah.
And they're like, they gave me a lot of respect, which is a lot more than the Unturned video is giving me, which is surprising. But
I mean,
but yeah.
I have a similar story. I was playing CS, and for some reason, like, the opponent, like, we were crushing them, okay? And for some reason, the opponent team went on my profile, and they're like, in the chat, they were spamming, like, L child, 8,000 hours on Unturned. I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, this child is killing you and like, is beating you in CS, you know? It was funny, man. L child, 8,000 hours in Unturned. I'm like, okay, then.
L child. That's funny.
It was funny as hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's see if there's just question, like, weird questions. Squirrels.
I can answer some of these questions.
Yeah.
There's some of them because I saw. Dash asked me like how to find glitches in the game easier.
Yeah, he asked that. Yeah.
This is like something that I think was told to me, but I'm gonna restate it. Like, finding glitches in Unturned. Like, think about something that you wouldn't, you think that was overlooked, and then kind of mess around with it. Like, just mess around with a bunch of different things, and you'll eventually find something. Like something like little minor, like something minor or like large, and you gotta keep messing with it. Like, it's a bunch of trial and error. But you gotta keep just doing different things.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And that's the best advice I can give you for glitching. In Unturned.
I need to ask this question because they're just spamming it. Do you know squirrels are watching?
Actually, I think squirrels.
He's just spamming.
Watch.
Stop spamming.
I think squirrels do watch, so I think that is true.
Yeah, squirrels are watching.
I don't know
I don't know why. Yesterday we had the podcast with Panto, and we talked about squirrels or something. Like, he could beat up a squirrel or something like that. And they're just spamming about it now. I don't know. Yes, they are watching. Squirrels are watching. All right. Any other questions?
Ollie asked me, like, what is my most popular video? My most popular video, I believe now, is my Unturned Oddities video. I think, Liam, you watched that.
Yeah, right? The Oddities one. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cool stuff that, like, even there, if you watch that Oddities video, you'll find like, whoa, that's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I made like Emperor's Tomb, which was like the doorways, and they don't load in correctly, so you can just be like 40 meters away and see it like through it, which is really cool. I think it's a cool thing. But yeah, there's a lot of like weird little oddities that I put in that video. They're interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, what is the most popular podcast? I don't even know which one. It's probably the Nelson one.
I think it is the Nelson one. Either that or Deliano's episode, because for whatever reason, Dilly's episode went crazy. I don't even know why.
Probably got recommended, you know?
I got recommended because I think that was when FNF took off, and it looked like an FNF thumbnail. So I think a bunch of people thought it was an FNF vibe, and it was my podcast. Brian Knight Funkin.
Yeah, FNF, yeah, I remember. Yeah. Would you rather fight a kangaroo or a badger? They asked this question yesterday as well.
It's probably a kangaroo. Badgers are insane. I'm not doing that. Probably a kangaroo. It's probably easier.
They're both insane, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I think I'd rather fight a kangaroo than a badger, because the badger is like small.
Yeah.
Kangaroo is big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. A question for Grimsy. He asked, "What do you think was the best time for Unturned? Like, what year?"
What year was the best time for Unturned? I think I know exactly the moment that it was the best time. the moment that MLBB lost his hovercraft on the Hawaii SMP on Gang Z, that was the pinnacle of Unturned's popularity right there, I think. In that moment, after that moment where MLBB found out that his hovercraft was gone, was the downhill moment of all content creation on YouTube. And I think a lot of people in the general like mainstream, that was like the moment where everything was downhill from that point.
Yeah.
I think that was a pinnacle and that was the downfall moment.
Gang Z was amazing, man.
Yeah, Gang Z was an amazing series, and I think Paul did a really good job of organizing stuff. And then sadly, like later on, it couldn't be really revived because everybody walked away from Unturned because of the belief that 4.0 would come out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That was the moment, in my opinion. I think a lot of people don't really know the exact moment, but like, yeah, that was the moment. I think.
I agree. That was like the most popular series in Unturned as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a large series that like spanned across multiple places, and like there's a lot of YouTubers who were there from like different periods. Like it's really interesting.
Yeah, it was like Generic B, Paul, MLBB,
Lapis, like people like that. Like it was kind of crazy. I think even Chimney Swift was there at one point. Chimney Swift, like that's like those are people are like old people from like the Minecraft scene that went to Unturned to go see what was next for them. So it was really interesting.
For sure.
And yeah.
Yeah. So I have one question. I accidentally skipped over it. It's about Unturned content. So do you watch Unturned YouTube nowadays? Like, do you watch anyone in particular?
Not really. I feel like the problem is with Unturned YouTube. I think we're trying too hard to be other people.
Okay.
And it's not very like good in my opinion, because I feel like when I watch certain Unturned videos, I feel like I'm watching emulated content from Rust.
Okay.
Or like Brain Rot. So it's either the or two, and I just feel like it's too. I feel like it's too. What do you call it? I feel like I've seen it before. And it's not really too interesting because it's related around Unturned. Maybe it's just because I played Unturned for too much. But I feel like there's a lot more people who find it more interesting to watch better versions. I feel like what we're offering right now is like kind of like a lesser version of what those people are offering, and that's a sad reality. But I mean, I'll encourage anybody to make any type of Unturned content because I do love this game. So it's like anybody could do anything they want, but that's how I feel personally about it. I think anybody could do well. I think I told people in my last podcast, I was like, I think the biggest inhibitor of the Unturned community about Unturned is the Unturned community, because I feel like we are more fixated on the problems rather than doing a lot of things what we could do instead. It's led to a lot of like unnecessary hate and unnecessary problems that don't really need to happen, and people could just like easily create and do cool things in the scene. And I said that in my last podcast episode. I was like,
yeah, I think
the
I
problem
remember
is
this, yeah.
everybody else. And I was like, you all need to realize that like this game could be really great if you all actually wanted it to be great, and it doesn't take that much to do. And I wanted to prove that in the YouTube space, and I did, because I like had like 300 subs, and I made like a bunch of like more like more digestible videos that were relating to Unturned that were more interesting in my opinion. And I got like 14K, like 7K, I think, or something like that on those videos. And then I was like, okay, I just proved it. I proved my point. And then I haven't made a video after that point because I've been lazy, but also I don't really find it. It's not motivating right now to make more content. But I hope in the future I will. But it has to be like a really good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Once I get back into it.
I get it. All right. Yeah, sometimes making content, can be quite tiring, sadly. Thankfully, I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you do it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you do it to such a degree, because it's like I think people give you your props for this, but I think a lot more people need to give more props. It's just like Liam's been here for so long, and Liam's been doing like the same thing for such a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, that's insane. Like how far long you've been going. And it's crazy because it's like I saw you back then. When I first met you, you were still doing this, and now I see you still doing this. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's kind of crazy. So it's like,
I enjoy it though. I don't mind.
Liam's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Shout out to Liam. I can say the same thing about so many people in the scene, but like, yeah, Liam's a very
dedication
special person in the community. Yeah, dedication is insane, and I respect that wholeheartedly. So yeah. Give more props to Liam, y'all. Y'all need to give like a W for LiamDoesGames.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is deserved.
Nah, I'm really happy with my community though, to be completely honest. Like even for Twitch, that I'm doing daily Twitch streams as well, like different games. There's always people watching, man. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy with it. So can't complain. And the videos are doing quite well as well. Like they're doing, pretty okay.
Yeah. I always give him his props. Yeah, give him your props. Someone asked what my favorite map. I said it earlier, but it's Arid. Yeah, Arid or Vanilla. Yeah, it's Arid.
Yeah.
It's always Arid.
They're all asking like,
how was?
Yeah, go on.
I think someone's asking. Dash is asking, how was /vol used to dupe, and why does it work on some servers? It was fixed, but just ask. The way that it worked, from my knowledge, was 2 different ways. Vaulting basically was being updated on a timer. So if you mess with the vault, sometimes it just like it would bug out. And a different time was like sometimes it would just because the vault would just exist and then not exist. So if you were to mess with it like that, sometimes you could just pull random things out of the vault that wasn't necessarily there and create fake items that were usable. And then it could basically bug everything. It's like a whole ordeal. I'm not entirely sure as to like the exact things when it comes to the vault system. Like I don't know the technical stuff, but yeah, it's like it's kind of interesting. That's all I can really say.
I don't remember it just glitched, to be honest.
It was like it was not too long ago. Like,
really?
I think it was like a couple years ago. It was a couple years ago. It's not too insane. I think that there's a worse glitch now with garages, but I won't say that because I think it still works on certain servers.
Oh yeah, no,
it's still like a possibility. yeah, I'm not saying that, but like you if you know, you know. But yeah, but the vault one was definitely fixed, from my knowledge, completely. So, thank you, Lucia. I will say as well. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, I would say like yeah, Liam was crazy. Liam always does this crazy stuff, and I just can't believe he's still going. I will keep saying that it is something that is wild. I'm gonna ask you, Liam, like
yeah,
like, do you see yourself like in the next like 5 years doing this?
Unturned? Probably not. I'm switching to different stuff, slowly. I mean, if Unturned is still huge, then yeah, for sure.
I mean, I have plans to hopefully try to help Unturned get to a better position in the future. Like I just do a bunch of background stuff. And I do believe there is certain things that need to happen in order to make this game really successful. And yeah, I do plan for the long haul here. There's a lot of things I want to see happen in this game. And I hope you all stick around for the ride, especially anyone that's new. There's a lot of stuff that hopefully a lot of things get through and a lot of things get changed. On the preview branch, I don't know if you saw, like, there's a lot of new trees.
Oh yeah.
Those trees are really like are really cool. I think they're way better than the old ones. Like, have you seen them? Yeah, they're really cool. So, and there's a lot of more changes happening in the future. I do hope to see all that. And then yeah, the future of Unturned is going to be really really interesting. And I hope you are around to see it, Liam. I hope you don't disappear.
No. Yeah, this year I'm actually doing like YouTube and everything as like my main job, to be honest with you. So
really, how's that been?
Actually, pretty good, surprisingly good. So
well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah, I hope to see you for the long haul, because I'm like, you're one of my people, Liam. Like, you're one of the people that were early on. Like. So is P9. I can't ever hate P9. I can't ever hate you, because we were all like around during the similar times.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
We were like, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we're still here, like doing Unturned. So yeah, you're my people, and I do respect you all. Like, even though we don't agree with maybe some of the things we say with each other, but like I respect all of you for everything you guys have done for the scene, because you guys are very important, and I do hope to potentially make Unturned really, really good in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely stick around for as long as I possibly could when it comes to Unturned, but I obviously don't want Unturned, to go to die or whatever. I don't think it will at all. I do think like when people get bored from it, new people will just come in. But I do think like there needs to be something done that Unturned is, more alive. I think I've talked about this in previous podcasts. I think like, for example, Nelson getting like for example a big YouTuber or Rust YouTuber, whatever, to make like a few Unturned videos. I think that could actually really help, even if it's not just a Rust, a Minecraft or Roblox, like that target audience. I think it could actually help Unturned for the future. I think that would be good. I don't know though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird case because it's like I know a lot of people play Unturned and a lot of people who have like PC games. I actually have Unturned in their library. I believe that. I just like it's a matter of motivating them to play the game again. So
yeah.
I think either be like some YouTuber showing it again on YouTube to a new like a bunch of people who used to play it or don't know how to play it, and they're like, oh yeah, let me go check this game out. There needs to be a reason to do that.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be a little bit more changes need to happen, and then we'll hit people again with, hey, go look at Unturned. It's way different from what you last play it.
Yeah, for sure.
Come and play it in a better state. So I think we needed to get to that point where we're like, okay, Unturned is definitely more playable and definitely
really
more fun
good. Yeah.
people.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
in a better position, and then we need to like hit people and be like, hey, come back, and I'd be like, wow, this is so much better than it was before. I think it's so much more interesting and enjoyable. So yeah, we gotta do that again.
100%.
We do have plans. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know then. Because a lot of people say like Unturned is abandoned or something, but obviously I say no, it's not. But a lot of people leave because they think like Unturned has no better outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think there's a big and a different gaming community that exists. I always relate Unturned to Melee, like Super Smash Bros. Melee, and their community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who were part of the Melee scene who completely were like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna participate in Melee anymore. I'm gonna go wait for the next title, which was Brawl, or like play the next, other games that were released by Nintendo that were in the same genre, like Smash, right? But Melee still was like very played out and still is popular to this day. And I do think Unturned is to go down that path of being like kind of like Melee. So I see myself being here for another like a very long time.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm happy.
I will be here for a very long time.
I'm glad. Yeah. If Unturned dies, I honestly I don't really know what I would do. I'm trying to add some Project Zomboid content. They're doing alright. Like I can't complain since I'm just starting out over there. But Unturned is my thing. I don't really want it to die.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna die. I think people saying that it's dying, but like I've heard that for years. Like I've heard that since 2017.
I've heard this since I started. So yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of like. I think I remember like Funk said this about Team Fortress 2, but like how can you respawn something that respawns from the dead? That's Unturned. Unturned's been like, I guess if Unturned was dead, it's been dead for a very long time, and it's been like this forever. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been playing and I've been enjoying it, and I don't think it's
exactly
dying.
The important thing is like people play it and they still enjoy it. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I've always been asking the question of how long I've been doing videos for. I think I started doing videos back in like 2016. I could be wrong. It could have been like 2014.
Damn.
But I think 2016 is when I started. I'm not entirely sure. So.
Yeah, I started in 2015 actually, but back then I didn't do Unturned. I did like other games. Like I remember doing like horror games, for example, or like Minecraft Zombie Blocks. You ever heard of that game? It's like a Minecraft Minecraft shooter with hordes of zombies. It was actually quite fun. I think it's dead now though. Or like removed or something. It was a Flash game.
Flash game. I that game, sadly. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun back then. I was like 16 or 15 back then, so yeah.
Yeah. That is a long time ago. I think I was gonna say something else to you, Liam. I think How long you plan to do this podcast for?
Probably just a few more minutes. I gotta head off soon, actually. So like 5 more minutes. Yeah, we definitely should do a part 2 though, because this was a really chill, fun podcast, man. And time flew like crazy, to be honest.
Yeah,
we've been doing this for an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's still so much. Like, I know we got the questions done, but I got so much more we can conversate about.
Oh
like,
yeah,
we can
for
discuss
sure.
we can discuss Washington and Russia, like all we wanted and stuff like that, and like some of the good old times, like how we felt about some certain updates and stuff. Like, there's so much we could discuss.
For
yeah,
sure.
I'm willing to show up for another ep in the future.
Yeah, we'll do another episode.
I miss this. For the longest time, I missed this because I used to do what do you call it? I used to do the Unturned Podcast, and that was every week. Every week. I used to do that every week for a year, and I'm kind of miss doing this because I just love talking about Unturned, and that's like my
man. I have a great time doing it. Like with every guest that I've had, like hearing their experiences and all of that. It's so much fun. Like different perspectives, I have a great time each time, and time flies by every time like so quickly. It's crazy. Like an hour, 2 hours is not enough. Basically, we need more. But
yeah.
But yeah, we should definitely do a part 2, man. Like we definitely have like hours and hours more to talk about, to be completely honest.
Yeah, there's so much more.
For sure.
I don't know. There's a lot more cool stuff, and I hope to. Yeah, I'm down to come back whenever you want me to.
Of course.
I got a lot more stuff we could
for
talk
sure.
about.
100%.
Related.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Sadly, that's gonna be the end, though. I have to head off, unfortunately. But this was a really fun podcast, cucuycharles. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate that, and I know you've watched a few previous shows as well, so thank you for that. Thank you everyone that was watching as well. Huge shout out. Yeah, I will do a part 2, yes, for sure. Before we head off though, I would like to give a shout out to Pine Hosting for sponsoring the podcast. If you guys want to check out Pine Hosting, buy yourself some Unturned servers, make sure to use it. Make sure to check out Pine Hosting, use code LDG for 30% off. They do a lot of games, not just Unturned, like Rust, Project Zomboid, and a lot more. So make sure to check it out. Again, huge shout out to Charles for coming on. And yeah. Who's Charles?
Thank you again, Liam, for bringing me.
Of course, man, of course. Someone just asked, who are you? What do you mean?
I'm a guy. That's about it. And
yeah.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for the questions in chat. In the future, you guys go watch my 10-year anniversary. Not 10-year anniversary. I guess it was an anniversary video.
Yeah,
watch my 10-year video if you want more about me.
Yes. So, I'm gonna show them really quickly on stream what you're talking about. So go on YouTube chat and search for cucuycharles, and yeah, this is the channel. This video, 10 years of Charles. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of his videos, so make sure to go watch them. They're some quality content, chat. Okay. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. You wanna say bye?
Bye-bye, everybody. Well, okay, wait. I gotta do the outro.
Yeah,
This concludes this episode of the LiamDoesGame Podcast. I've been your guest, cucuycharles, and I'll see you in another future episode. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.